Hopefully you're having a good, what is it, Tuesday today? Just got done with practice number 5. Obviously, back off a pause and you give young kids a week off. You feel like you're starting all over again. We had some momentum, I think, after practice 4, and then go out there today. I wasn't excited about it. I'll go back and watch the tape. I love that office there, Larry. Holy cow! Look at that. That's big time. Dang. But he's got you beat, Jerry. He's got you beat on the room. But you just feel like you lost a little momentum, by taking a week off, but out of caution, extreme caution, just making sure our kids are safe, and obviously didn't have a game to play. So if we had a game to play, we would have continued to push through it, but. It sounds like things are not great. As we talked at the beginning of spring ball in the city of Pittsburgh, things seem to be getting worse. And, we got to do our part as a football team to try to help nip this thing in the butt and try to get COVID out of Pittsburgh. So questions?
Were you able to go full pads right back into it after a week off?
Yes. We're out full pads today.
What's kind of the bar for going on a pause like that? Do you need a percentage of players unavailable, or what leads to that?
I think, I really don't know, because we hadn't really missed a practice since back in fall camp, when really it was kind of a voluntary, like, hey, we ain't practicing today until we figured, because everybody was still scared. The kids were still scared. Coaches are unaware of what's going on. So this is really the first pause that we've had. I don't think it was a, necessarily a numbers thing. It was more of just a cautious thing, like what's going on. And, we weren't testing as much as we were testing back in the fall, obviously, because it wasn't the season, and the ACC had, different protocols. We've up-ramped the testing now, just because we can't let it happen again. But it just came down to, we needed to make sure everything was clean, and we did that, and we feel good about it.
Pat, are you guys testing 2 or 3 times now a week?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Are you guys testing 2 or 3 times now a week? You said you up-ramped it.
You know what? We've tested every day for the last week. I can tell you that. So we've tested every day, and again, probably 3 times here in the next few weeks, or whatever's needed. I mean, our athletic department and Jennifer Brown will do whatever we have to do just to make sure that we are on top of this.
Pat, are you going to have some guys miss significant time beyond now because of the contact tracing or positive tests?
No, I don't see that. No, we've already missed a week, so I think in the next few days we'll be back to full strength. After Easter, we'll be back full strength.
How will the rest of your spring schedule be adjusted now? Will you still try and end on the 17th, or add extra practices? What are you going to do?
That's our plan right now, and we're going to add extra practices in between, try to get the 3 that we missed made up somehow, some way. But it all depends on how it goes the next couple of weeks. And a week ago, I'm sitting here trying to make a new calendar, and then the next day I'm making a new calendar, the next day I'm making a new calendar. I said I'm done making new calendars until we find out where we are. So we'll just look and see, how we finish this week up, and then we'll make a decision on next week.
Pat, do you guys have the option? Because I know the NCAA has that 34-day period or window that you get the 15 in. And there was reports that would be maybe more lenient for teams that were affected by COVID this spring. Did you have that option if you want to extend practices past the 17th or whatever? Yeah. The 34-day window will be out. We'll have another 7-day window to get our practices in. So, and again, that was the other thing, knowing that you could make them up. Not that I'm a guy who likes to stay on schedule, but we knew we wouldn't have to cram them in that period. So right now, at this moment, we plan on the spring game on the 17th, and we'll move from there.
So you'll just have 3 practices a week then, and then extend some after the 17th?
Possibly. We'll find out. I'll take it day by day, Jerry. Day by day. We're going to practice again on Thursday, and then they'll have the Easter weekend off.
Pat, I know you mentioned at the start of camp you wanted to get into Hines 3 times. Is that still the plan?
I think, for sure, too, obviously. We missed an opportunity last Saturday. We'd have an opportunity to probably go Thursday if we wanted to. and get some scrimmage work in. But, you know, I heard it's going to be like 29 degrees, maybe 23 degrees. I don't think that's going to be a great atmosphere. You know, I guess we could pretend like we're November, but, you know, our kids know it's April. But, you know, we'll see. Probably twice we'll get in, maybe more.
What have you been able to see from your team so far in 5 practices? Maybe some specific guys that may have caught your eye in those practices, maybe today or last week, 2 weeks ago?
Well, let me see, Jerry. Again, I wasn't happy with today. So, you know, guys that caught my eye, you know, obviously Kenny Pickett's been really good. I think he's you know, started spring ball off in his first 4 or 5 days where he left off. I think he's confident. I think he knows where to go with the ball. The backup quarterbacks are still what they are. You know, we're going to get into a scrimmage situation and, you know, make them live as well this spring. So we'll find out what we have more with that. I think when the pressure comes, we'll find out. You know, Jordan Addison's been really good. You know, Tayseer Mack has had an outstanding spring so far. I'll say that. He's been healthy and moving forward where we expect him to play at a high level, and he's done that. Defensively, Deslin's been really good. You know, I'm speaking the obvious here, I guess. Trying to think. That's about it. You know, Marquez has been really, really good football, playing really good football right now. So we'll see. That's kind of what I see right now.
Pat, have you had a chance to talk to Monkey Stovall, the transfer receiver that you guys got from Hawaii? You had a chance to interact with him and just get a sense of what's going on?
Who?
Didn't you guys?
I'm not allowed to talk about him right now. So.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
All right. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Are there going to be enough footballs to go around for all those experienced wide receivers you have?
I don't know. We'll find out. Hope so. I would think there would be.
Out of any of the early enrollees caught your eye with maybe what they're doing physically or mentally?
Yeah, you know, Jeff, good question. You know, Gavin Bartholomew's really, you know, showed that, you know, I think he can help us this year, at least after 4. We'll see what he did today on video. But after 4 practices, you know, he's, you know, as strong a tight end as we've got. I think he's playing physical. He's a good football player. He can run. That's one guy in offense, you know, as a freshman that stands out. And I'm probably going to miss somebody. Wish I had my list in front of me. EJ didn't give me any paper. You know, PG O'Brien has been really good. You know, today I have to, you know, calm him down. You know, we're doing some thud periods and he looks like it's live. So he's, you know, he will whack you on the back end as far as tackling goes. Here's EJ. Oh yeah, I can really read that. He gives me a whole roster like I can find the freshman in there, like EJ. But trying to think of other guys. If you name a guy, I'll give you my 5-day impression. Because that sheet didn't help. I threw that one out, EJ.
How about Johnson?
Nakai's done a nice job. Again, 4 days, 5 days. You know, we'll see what he did today. But Nakai's done a nice job so far. He's kind of where you would hope he would be. He's got a chance. He's got a little different gear to him, and again, he's still learning. So the things are still spinning in his head, but you can see the athletic ability being there.
Pat, they seem like a fairly, I don't know if outspoken is the word, but confident group. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah, the freshmen they're confident. You know, we're going to find out when the scrimmages hit, but they are confident. It's a smart group. You know, Nate Yarnell's been good as well. Thinking about some of the other guys, Renda's been good. So they're smart, they're confident, and then, you know, they've got some work to do, obviously, but they all have an opportunity to come out here this spring and show what they have.
Izzy showing the most leadership on the offensive line right now.
Leadership up front, you know, Owen Drexel's been the guy that really, you know, is taking over. He's learned a lot from Jimmy. You think he's like Jimmy's little brother. That's what I'm going to start calling him, Jimmy's little brother out there. He's learned so much from Jim through his years here that I think he just like, that's my job now is to do what Jim did. So he's taken that over. Carter Warren, I mean, really all those guys up front. We got a veteran group up there. Gabe Hoy has been, you know, really more vocal. Carter Warren, although he jumped off sides today. You know, I was kind of looking at him like, you know, it's a young guy. He's supposed to do that. So, but they've all stepped up, I think.
Pat, I wanted to ask about 2 of the freshmen from this past season and how they look. Izzy at running back and Daon Hayes at defensive end.
Yeah, Daon's been, again, another guy that's still learning and played a lot of scout team last year that, you know, he's learning. Obviously, he's ahead of Kai. But he's developing, and Coach Partridge will have him where he needs to be. We're looking forward to seeing what happens when the lights turn on Heinz Field with Daon. And Izzy's been really good. I mean, I think that freshman wall has passed him, and his pass protection's been good. He's hit a few holes, and we just hope we can get 15 days to develop him.
Pat, getting back, I know you guys went virtual, I guess, during that week, and just communicating with the team and everything. How much did your guys hate that you were back on Zoom, that you were away from the facility and everything?
You know what? Because you're Zoom, you can't feel them, you can't see them, you can't. They're on mute. I wish they looked as good as this whole group here, except Seth Graham. I don't know why Seth, doesn't have his camera on. I don't know why he's special. Oh, there he is. But I get mad with guys. Kelly, come on, Kelly, wake up over there. And LaSalle, I don't know what he's doing down at the bottom, but I bet they enjoyed it more than I did. I hate Zoom. I've about had enough of it. Trying to make sure they don't have this funny picture in the background, sitting up, laying down, looking at ceilings. I hope the professors don't let them act like that, because I go nuts when I see it. It drives me nuts. So I'm glad we're back in person again. But I think it upset our kids. I mean, they obviously didn't want to stop, and or when we're going to come back, but you don't get that feel because you're not around them.
Pat, what have you seen out of your linebackers in these early practices? I know you said you want to see more out of the rest of the team, but you got a lot of older guys that are still on the roster, but you also got some younger guys that you're expecting to step up as well.
Yeah, you see bits and pieces of who those guys are. I mean, there's Cam Bright and Phil Campbell and Wendell and Chase Pine have done a nice job so far. Kind of left off where you thought they would, but it's developing some of the younger guys behind them, the Aiden Henninghams and Solomon DeShields. Those are the guys that we're looking. AJ Roberts. I mean, trying to develop those guys and get them to where they need to be and where they can help us as we go down the road.
What about MJ Devonshire? You having him at safety or corner right now?
We got him doing both. But MJ's been good. He's been real good. We've been happy. We got him as a punt returner as well, because he can take one to the house, I think. So MJ's been really, really good for us. I'm glad you asked that question. With 115 guys out there, but we've been happy with where he is so far. He just needs to continue to progress. He will bite you, I can tell you that, and he's athletic and can run. So we're happy with where he is, and he can play corner or safety. So we've kind of split time there.
What about that cornerback room? Because you talked about how Damari was so excited he was tackling people in shorts, and you still got people like Rashad Battle, Marquise, and AJ. I mean, it sounds like you got a really combative room there to work with over the next year.
They are. I mean, Damari started off a little rusty, so we're still trying to get that WD-40 and get him. It's been a year he's been off, and we need to loosen him up and probably came in the spring ball a little bit heavy, and I know he's been focused on trying to cut the weight down because he looks good. I mean, he looks like a middle linebacker, just about 205 pounds. But I think he's down to about 199, 200 pounds right now, which he needs to be to run like he has to out there. But we know Damari will be great. And AJ Woods and Battle and all those guys. It's going to be a battle out there, with the rest of the corners. And like I said, Quez has looked good, and we expect him to.
Anything else?
The receivers are giving all they want. I can tell you that, though. There's been some days out there, so the receivers are doing a great job as well. Coach Marion's got those guys coached up.
You seen any good rivalries out there between two guys that you've been having fun watching?
Just watching Jordan Addison, on our safeties is always an interesting day. Let's leave it at that. Without DeMar Hamlin out there, it's a little bit different. So we're trying to find out MJ, to play the field position. Judd has had a solid, spring, but we'll find out when the pads go on. We get into a live scrimmage. Eric Howlett's out right now for the spring, so we don't get a chance to look at what he's doing. So, okay.
And other than COVID-related absences, do you have any guys missing this spring significant time for injury absences?
Geez, I give him a little bone, then he tries to. No, Jerry. Obviously, there are always a couple. A lot less this spring than last spring. Put it that way.
All good.
Thank you.
Pat, real quick, do you guys still plan or hope to have fans at the spring game?
We do, yes.
Okay.
Let's make sure Pittsburgh's under control and wear your mask, wash your hands, Get yourself a little distance there. Don't all pile up on each other. We'll be good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Coach.